All right. How's it going?
How's it going, Chuck?
What's your name?
My name is Jacob Popowski.
Jacob Popowski. Where are you from, man?
I'm from Mount Prospect, Illinois.
Okay. Is Popowski Polish?
Yes, it is.
Interesting. Can you tell me about your family's connection to Poland?
Yeah, so both my parents are Polish. They're both from the same town in central Poland.
Yeah.
And, they both moved to America when they were pretty young. My dad was 19 and my mom moved here after college.
Yeah. Interesting. Did they know each other before they came to the U.S.?
They actually did not. It's an interesting story. They met here, and it turns out they're from the same town, which only has like 60,000 people.
Really?
Yeah.
That's really interesting. Where'd they meet in the U.S.?
I don't know exactly where they met, but I know it was here in Chicago.
Okay, so they both lived in Chicago.
Yeah.
Interesting. What about their parents? Were they also grew up in Poland, all that?
Yeah, both their parents grew up in Poland, and they did not move to the U.S., just only my parents did.
Really? So they still live there?
Yes.
Are they still living?
Both of my dad's parents are unfortunately not with us, but
Okay.
both of my mom's parents still are, so that's good.
Do you see them a lot? Do they come to the U.S.?
Well, they're at the age, they're pretty old, so they don't really, they're not comfortable with flying, so
Yeah.
the last time they were in the U.S. was 7 years ago. But I do see them a lot, once every couple of years.
Yeah. Do they have their own house in Poland? Are they in a retirement home?
Oh yeah, they have their own house.
Okay, that's cool. Have you ever visited Poland?
I have. I've visited many times. I think
Really?
maybe 9 or 10 times.
Wow.
So I do visit a lot, and it's very nice.
Yeah, where do you go in Poland? Do you know any specific cities?
Yeah, so both my mom's parents, my grandparents live in this town called Koła, which is where my dad's from as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fairly small town, and then it's 2 hours from the capital city named Warsaw, which is where my aunt lives as well. In the south, there's another big town called Kraków, and then my grandma's sister, my great aunt, lives in this town called Poznań.
Yeah. Interesting. I think I've heard of those names. Those must be pretty popular cities.
Yeah, they're all fairly large cities.
Okay. Do they have big tourist attractions there?
Yeah. So in the south, a lot of people like to go hiking because there's really nice mountains and just sightseeing.
Yeah.
And then in the cities, what you'll usually find is historical churches, museums, and just things of that nature.
Yeah. Is it cold there? Do you go skiing or snowboarding?
Yeah, you can go skiing or snowboarding in the south because it's pretty close to Austria, which is where the Alps are.
Yeah.
And it snows a lot there in the winter.
Okay, yeah. I don't know my geography around Poland. Is it similar weather to here?
Yeah, so in the summers you're gonna have temperature upwards as high as maybe 90 degrees Fahrenheit, and in the winter it could drop to negatives. So it's
Okay. Man,
yeah.
that's interesting. All right. What aspects of Polish culture do you and your family still practice or celebrate in your daily life?
I guess for aspects of culture, my parents speak it at home, and I speak Polish back to them.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm not sure I guess the main aspect that we still practice in everyday life is eating Polish dishes for dinner sometimes.
Yeah.
It really just depends on what my parents make for dinner.
Mm.
Yeah, and then other than that, I would say it's mainly just holiday celebrations that are a little bit different.
Okay, yeah. We can get into that later.
Yeah.
With food, do your parents mainly make it, or are there spots to get it within Chicago?
Yeah, so my parents mainly make it. There's a lot of Polish supermarkets and grocery stores around Chicagoland because there's a pretty high Polish population.
Yeah, I heard about that.
There are a few Polish restaurants as well.
Okay. What are the dishes primarily? Food types, you could say.
Like types?
Yeah, not specific dishes. We don't have to get into that, but.
Most dishes involve noodles or meat
Mm-hmm.
and vegetables, I'd say.
Yeah, is it heavily spiced?
No, there's honestly a lack of spice.
Really?
Yeah.
In Polish food?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. So is it primarily your mom who makes the Polish foods, or your dad? Both of them.
Yeah, it's pretty much both of them.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Is that like grilled food, or is it like?
Oh no, I wouldn't say grilled. A lot of it, I mean, some of it can be grilled, but most of it is just cooked on like a pan.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Are there back to going to Poland? Are there big like? Actually, never mind. So, do you do anything for Fat Tuesday?
Yeah, we do actually. We
Yeah.
we get these Polish donuts called pączki.
Pączki, yeah.
Yeah, and they're they have no hole in them, and they're pretty much just filled with jelly
Okay.
or like pudding.
So it's like a jelly-filled donut.
Yes.
How big is it?
I'd say it's a little bit. Well, actually, I'd say it's like the same size as a donut, maybe like a little bit taller.
But like completely filled in.
Yeah,
So it's like a large Timbit,
pretty
you
much.
could say. All right. So where does Fat Tuesday fall? Is that it's like what, the day before Lent or something? Day before Easter, something like that.
I actually could not tell you.
Something like that. Just shows up when it shows up.
Yeah, I think it's in the spring sometime.
All right. So are there any like traditional Polish dishes? You were saying your family cooks a lot of Polish food that have been passed down from your grandparents that you would know of.
Yeah. So, I guess the main one would be like pierogi, which are like pretty much just dumplings, except they're filled with either like fruit or like sweet cheese or sometimes meat.
Yeah.
There's also a really cool one is gołąbki, which is like it's meat with like tomato sauce wrapped up in cabbage,
Man,
and they're kind of like rolls.
those hard to make.
Yeah, they take a while to make.
Really?
Yeah.
What would you say like your favorite meal that your parents make? What would it be?
Ooh, I'd say my favorite meal would probably be pierogi, just because I really like the ones with the sweet cheese.
Yeah, that's fair. Any like big desserts?
Yeah, there's this thing called mak, which is like it's kind of like a sweet roll with poppy seeds, and the rest of it's dough, and then there's like a little bit of frosting on top.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Do you do anything special for birthdays? Anything different?
I know specifically we just sing the song in Polish pretty much,
Yeah.
and then we also sing Happy Birthday in English, and pretty much just go about having a regular birthday.
Okay. Yeah. Could you sing that song for us?
I mean, I could.
Yeah.
It just goes sto lat, nie żyje nam. And then it just repeats
Okay.
for
Really?
4 times. Yeah.
Do you know what it means? Like a general.
Yeah.
translation?
Sto lat translates to 100 years, and then the other part translates to like I think it's like it's good you're here with us
Okay.
or something like that.
So it's like kind of like, is it like saying like live for 100 years or like bless your next 100 years?
Yeah, basically it's saying like I guess it's just celebrating your life, and it's like hopefully you live a long life.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know.
Fair enough. Yeah, I know. Like for my birthday, like we go out to like a big dinner. That's kind of like a special thing we do for birthdays, and then like a cake, obviously. Do you just do like?
Yeah.
Do you eat at home or do you go out?
Yeah, sometimes we go to restaurants, sometimes we just eat at home. Yeah, it really just depends.
Really,
And then-
no like formal tradition you have.
No. And then
Okay.
just come back to the house, eat a cake,
Yeah.
give gifts. Yeah, that's about it.
Okay. Are there any other holidays that you celebrate within like Polish ancestry?
Yeah, so something that's really cool is like our Christmas looks a little bit different,
Yeah.
and that's how I know most of Europe does this as well. You celebrate Christmas on the 24th, basically. So that's so we have this big traditional dinner named Vigilia,
Mm-hmm.
and that takes place on the 24th, and then after that you open presents.
Yeah. Huh.
So I guess like Santa comes on the night of the 23rd.
Yeah, so it's the night. That's interesting. So you just
Yeah.
like look at the presents all day?
I mean, yeah. If you're really anxious about opening them, then you can.
Really, you can?
Oh no,
Okay,
you can't open them early.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Is it like a still with Santa, stuff like that?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's still Santa.
Yeah. Did you have like elves growing up?
I guess not really. I guess elves aren't really part of the culture.
Yeah. Can you describe that dinner a little bit more? I forgot. Can you say that term again?
Yeah, it's called Vigilia, and what it usually, I think it's 12 dishes.
Wow.
And you know, some of them are fish, some of them are noodles, some of them is meat. Yeah, and then there's like a, I don't know if this is a universal thing, but my mom makes this like soup with, it's like a sweet soup with like fruits in it.
Really?
So it'll have like pears, apricots. Yeah.
Interesting. For Vigilia, is that just like your core family, or is that like grandparents, or not? Like obviously you can't have your grandparents there, but
Yeah.
like cousins or anything like that.
Yeah, so I don't have many cousins in Chicago, so usually it's just my core family. But
Yeah.
one time I was in Poland for Christmas, so that was like maybe 5 years ago. So I had Vigilia with like both my grandparents and my aunt.
How's that?
It was really nice just because the whole family was there.
Yeah, I bet that's fun.
Yeah.
And your aunt, where does she live?
She lives in Warsaw.
Okay, really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So does she speak English or just Polish?
Yeah, she speaks Polish and English because her job requires to do so, and she travels a lot.
Okay. Like within Poland, is English pretty big there, or they just stick mainly to Polish?
Yeah, it's definitely getting bigger because a lot of students are learning it in high school now.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like everyone you talk to pretty much has like a fairly basic understanding of it.
Yeah.
And then some people will be better at it if they, I don't know, if they need it for their jobs or other reasons, I suppose.
Business in general.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like English is kind of like the global language of business, so
Yeah.
most countries know it, or at least have like a simple understanding of it.
Yeah.
So when was the last time you visited Poland?
The last time I visited was kind of late ago. Actually, it was the summer of 2021.
Okay, so like right after COVID.
Yeah.
Okay, like right when everything opened back up.
Yeah.
Do you plan on visiting anytime soon?
Yeah, I might be visiting this summer, but
Really?
those plans aren't official yet, so I don't know.
Yeah. How long is that flight?
The flight's about like 8 hours.
Sheesh.
It's pretty bad.
Just one flight direct.
Yeah, you can either fly direct or you can just do it like a layover in Helsinki or Copenhagen or
Yeah.
just anywhere.
I know Chicago's airport is pretty nice.
Yeah.
Like flying from Columbus, Ohio, where I'm from, is terrible.
Really?
Like you have to connect anywhere you go.
Yeah.
Just because like our airport doesn't have like that many terminals, stuff like that.
Yeah. I guess Chicago's lucky in that sense because you can pretty much find direct flights to anywhere.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
Already.
Helps out for you.
Yeah.
Are there any like specific Polish events or festivals that you have attended or know of?
Yeah, I'm not sure about events, but there are some festivals. Like for instance, there'll be like Polish concerts where Polish artists perform, and pretty much only Polish people are gonna go to those. I also go to church where mass is in Polish for one of the times, so only Polish people go to that. And then sometimes they'll have like events later in the day at church that my family would go to.
Yeah, how's like Polish church? Is it like a lot of singing?
No, I mean it's the same amount of singing as there would be in English mass.
Yeah.
Just the songs are in Polish.
Yeah, so you went to Polish school, right?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, what years?
I went starting out in kindergarten, and I finished my junior year of high school.
Really? So
Yeah.
was that like a after school thing?
Oh no, it'd just be a Saturday morning thing.
Saturday morning?
Yeah.
Thing? So how long was that? Per day?
It would it would go from like 9 a.m. to 12:30, so 3.5 hours.
Okay, that's pretty long.
Yeah.
So do you guys learn like just about like religions or
No. So
culture?
we would cover Polish reading, grammar, history, and geography,
Okay. So
and
you
writing.
like learn like the actual language there.
Yeah.
Okay. So how fluent are you?
I'd say I'm fairly fluent. Sometimes it's hard to articulate myself and form, complex sentences, but I'd say I can definitely hold a conversation and communicate with people.
Yeah, is like I don't know anything about the Polish language. Is it like is there any conjugation? I know Spanish has like conjugation.
Yeah, there's so many conjugations based off like, you know, context and tense. Like for instance, I think there's like 17 ways to say the number two.
Really?
Like in English, should be like two, second, and twice.
Yeah.
In Polish, there's like 18 different variations. So that just goes to show you like there's so many different conjugations.
Wow.
It's It's very hard to keep up with.
Yeah. Could you like give us some examples of the conjugation? Like say two.
Yeah, there's like two would be dva, and then there's like dvoje. I'm struggling to think of something right now.
It's all good.
There's dvoch. Yeah, so they all pretty much sound the same, but they all mean different things.
Is it like so like future past tense? Does it have anything to do with like I know Spanish it's like we, y'all, you, like that's how you kind of differentiate the conjugation. Is it anything like that?
Yeah, it is. And then Polish verb I guess whatever you're conjugating also follows gender rules, so like just like Spanish, so I guess it also is different in that sense.
Mm-hmm. What is like boys and girls Polish?
Like what are they called?
Yeah, just like what's the term?
Boys would be like chłopaki, and girls would be dziewczyny.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, those are pretty big words.
Yeah.
Then you like change it based on like those boys, like all of the I don't really know how to describe it, but like we boys, you boys, stuff like that.
Yeah.
All right. So how was your knowledge of the Polish language played a role in your life? Like you said, just talk to your parents and
yeah,
stuff like that.
Definitely helps me. I guess not really talk to my parents because they're pretty proficient in English and I actually speak English a lot more than Polish at home.
Yeah.
But it's definitely helped me a lot with communicating with my family in Poland.
Mm-hmm.
Like distant relatives, my grandparents, my aunt. Also meeting friends in Poland my age helped me talk to them.
Yeah.
So I'd say it played a pretty big role in my life, and I'm glad I know it.
Yeah. So there's like a big Polish population in Chicago. Do you have friends that are Polish like you?
Yeah, I do.
Really?
Yeah.
So did you meet them at the school, like the Polish school?
Yeah, I met most of them at Polish school, but you will find a good amount of Polish people across like any public high school.
Mm-hmm. And like, do the Polish people have like a strong accent?
Oh, like kids my age?
Yeah.
No, because
they're all born in America.
Pretty much all of them are born in America, so they
Okay.
speak English normally.
Yeah, so like when you're talking to them, you speak in English.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do your parents have a thick accent?
My dad pretty much does not, because he's already been here for about 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
And even he was already learning English before he came to America, so
really
he's very good with languages, and I would say that his accent is like very, very slight.
Mm-hmm.
My mom has a little bit of a stronger accent just because like she isn't as proficient in English as my dad.
Okay.
So you can pretty much tell pretty clearly that she has an accent.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Are there any pieces of like material culture in your house, like any like shrines or stuff like that?
No. I mean,
not really.
Yeah, I guess there would be some like books in Polish.
Mm-hmm.
That would be about it.
Okay, yeah, I was talking to my other interviewee, and he said he has like plates and stuff with like the eagle on there, or like whatever the bird is on the flag.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said like that's like a big token for them to keep around their house.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, but could you describe like the music? Like what's that like? Polish music?
Yeah, so there's a lot of disco. A big genre, I guess, is disco polo, which
Really?
is it's kind of like club party music,
Mm-hmm.
and it's very good music to dance to.
Yeah.
'Cause it's just because it's like bouncy and I guess like electric.
Upbeat.
Yeah,
Does it sound
upbeat.
different from like American music?
No, not really.
Mm.
I'd say it sounds pretty similar.
Okay. Yeah, I heard the polka. Do you know anything about that? Like the dance, the polka?
I think I know what it is.
Just know of it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've never done it.
Yeah, are there any other like dances or anything you know of in Polish?
No, actually, just maybe that's just because like I'm not a big dancer.
Yeah, that could be. All right, man. Well, thank you for your time. It's a
Yeah,
great
thank
interview.
you.
Learned a lot. Yeah, appreciate your time. Thank
Of
you.
course, thank you.